I had a message on my phone, but the message was very garbled. I didn't delete it. I hit pound and just...
This is the recording box, voice message recording.
And I was in an airport and the message thing was full. So I phoned Gina. Gina Hayden's been my assistant. She's been with me for 33 years next week.
Wow.
Anyway, I said, Gina, my phone's full. Help me clean it up. I was in an airport. And so I said, I think this is the number. It sounds like an Aussie number. And I said, I think this is the person's name. Glenda. It was Rhonda Byrne made the secret. Glenda was her sister. And she was heavy lifting, I guess. So anyway, Gina, and they said something about a movie, but I said, oh, everything I'm telling you could be wrong. Well, she phoned me back in an hour and she said, no, everything you're telling me is right. She said, there's a film crew in, they're doing this film from Australia and they really want to do it, but they haven't been able to get a hold of it. And I thought, well, they couldn't have been trying too hard. You know, they phoned my phone, they found the number. And, but she said they're going back to Australia next week. They've been trying for a month to reach it. And they're shooting in Aspen all weekend. And Gina says, isn't that strange? Bob's doing a seminar in Aspen this weekend. I hadn't been to Aspen for 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
And so I just walked next door. I was working in a hotel. I just walked next door and walked into a little room. It wasn't much bigger than this. And they had cameras, and of course there was no air.
He's sweating, the lights are
hot.
hot.
It was terrible. I mean, you wouldn't have believed the way they were set up. And they had 2 cameras, one that was rolling in, one fixed. And that's the story. So I answered a zillion questions for them. And they got a roll going and I just started to talk. And they loved what I was saying because it was along what they were looking for. And so I opened my computer and I put a page of PowerPoints up that would trigger my mind on different things. Mm-hmm. So they had me in there for a couple hours. And I never heard anything from them then. I think that was in the summer until the next spring or something.
Really?
And I got a CD by FedEx. Now I get a lot of CDs sent to me, and I didn't back then. And
this is what, the 90s or 2000?
Well, I don't know. It was the year before it came out. It came out in 2006 or something.
Okay, so 2005.
So it was, yeah. And I put it on my coffee table, and I said to my wife, you know, we got to watch this thing. I didn't even know how to start it.
The CD player,
yeah. And so anyway, she put it on, and I looked, and I thought, oh my God, this is gonna rock. It was because I saw the trailer, and it was the trailer that sold the secret. And that thing just took off.
You guys were everywhere for years.
Yeah.
And you were one of the main people that they focused on a lot. I feel like
well, I think I probably studied their subject more than anybody.
Right.
And then they had me do a section. If you go into the CD, into the menu, there's a special Bob Proctor in there, where they had me do about 30 or 45 minutes. I did it in my office on a green screen. I just started talking, I didn't stop. They never edited it. And they put that, so that's in there.
That's the bonus.
Yeah. And I think that's online for, 2 or 3 million viewers. Yeah, yeah.
But
it was a great hit.
And but you already had a successful business. You were teaching, doing seminars, workshops.
Well, I've been in the business since, that was in 2006. I've been in the business since 1968.
Wow.
You know. I started in 1968 with Nightingale Conant. Okay. Yeah,
and you didn't even go to high school. You said you went 2 months to high school.
I went to high school for 2 months, yeah. They kicked me out.
Why did they kick you out?
Well, I was useless. I was going nowhere, doing nothing. I mean, I was a useless human being, really. I had, the word goal, I would think of a hockey game or a soccer game. It was not something a person would work toward. I had been in and out of the Navy, and in and out of factories, and working in bars. I mean, I was going nowhere. And I was 26 when I woke up. But prior to that, nothing was happening. I think I'm very effective at what I do, because I always figured if this worked for me, it would work for anybody. I was such a loser, and my world changed so dramatically that I've never ceased to be fascinated with what happened to me. And I want it to happen to other people. And it can.
Why do you think you were such a loser? Because I feel like we were brothers then.
I've thought about that many times. I was born during the Depression. I've been around a long time. I'll be 85 next week.
Wow.
So I was born during the Depression. And the Second World War broke out. I was just 5, 6 years old. My dad went overseas, so I never really knew my dad. I had a brother and sister older and brother younger, so I was in the middle. And I had my grandmother sort of like buddied up with my brother, and my mother with my sister, and I felt like I was sort of lost.
And your dad was gone.
Yeah, well, there was no father. I mean, he'd come home after the war and then he was gone again. So I didn't have any real direction as a kid. And I was very thin. I was always underweight. I guess I had very low self-esteem. I knew nothing about who I was. Nobody ever taught me anything about that. See, in those days, I mean, things were tough for everybody. You know, during the war and during the Depression, your parents, I guess my mother was happy just to be able to feed us and put a roof over us.
Survive, yeah.
Yeah, and now mind you, she was really a phenomenal woman because she did everything on her own and she made it happen. So my brother and sister and I talk about it. We always say, God bless Mother, because she kept going, you know.
Yeah.
And so we look back and I think we had good gene there.
Wow. What was the biggest lesson your mom taught you?